You know that little glowing light on your TV? Or the way your smart speaker is always just there, listening. We've packed our homes with all this amazing smart tech, right? But there's a secret cost to this always-on lifestyle. It's this hidden energy drain happening 24/7, and today we are going to pull back the curtain and see what's really going on. So let me just ask you this straight up. Are the devices you think are off actually racking up a huge bill? I'm going to bet the answer is yes. And we're not talking about the power you use when you're binge watching a show. We're talking about the power it's quietly sipping when you're not even in the room. The name for this culprit is actually kind of spooky. It's called phantom load, or my personal favorite, vampire power. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the electricity your gadgets are sucking down, even when they're switched off or just sitting in standby mode. They aren't really off. They're waiting, they're listening, and they're pulling a constant, invisible trickle of power from your wall. But here's the thing you have to understand. This isn't a bug. It's not a mistake. This power drain is completely intentional. It's a feature. It's the very thing that lets your smart TV fire up instantly or your speaker perk up when you say its name. We've basically traded efficiency for instant convenience. So what's the real cost of all this convenience? Well, this is where those tiny little trickles of electricity start to add up. And I mean really add up into a massive flood of wasted energy and, yep, wasted money. Let's actually dig into the numbers. Okay, let's start small. Think about a popular smart speaker. Just sitting there, doing nothing. Its Wi-Fi chip is on, its microphone is active. All of that needs a constant 2 to 3 watts of power. Seems like nothing, right? Barely worth mentioning. But that tiny drain never, ever stops. It's running 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And that adds up to over 26 kilowatt hours for just one device, just for idling. To put that into perspective, some of the newest, most high-efficiency refrigerators use less energy than that in an entire month. And that's the real kicker. It's never just one device, is it? Once you add in your TV, your game console, your smart washer, your security cameras, that little 2-watt trickle turns into a roaring river. A fully connected smart home can have a constant baseline power drain of 50 to 100 watts. That's basically like leaving a bright light bulb on forever. So what does this mean for your bank account? Well, according to the U.S. Department of Energy, this phantom load can make up anywhere from 5 to 10% of your home's total electricity use. For the average family, that's like throwing away between $100 and $200 every single year. You're literally paying for electricity that does nothing. So who are the biggest offenders in your house? Well, keep an eye out for these. Your cable box, especially if it has a DVR, is a huge one. It's always updating. Game consoles in that rest mode so they can start up fast? Yep, big-time energy vampires. And of course, the backbone of it all. Your smart TVs, your security cameras, and those high-performance Wi-Fi routers that keep everything connected. So why? Why are our devices so thirsty for power when they're supposed to be sleeping? Well, it all comes down to a choice, a trade-off that manufacturers made for us, really. They decided that instant, seamless convenience was more important than energy efficiency. You see, older smart home systems, like the ones that use Zigbee or Z-Wave, were super efficient. They used these low-power networks, but you needed a separate hub to control everything. Now, everything is built to connect directly to your Wi-Fi using protocols like Matter. It's way easier for sure, but it means that the Wi-Fi radio inside every single one of those devices has to stay powered up and connected 24/7, and that just uses a ton more energy. And you know, there's this quote from a study at the University of Virginia that just hits the nail on the head. For a device that's plugged into the wall, a manufacturer doesn't really see energy as a limit, not like they do with a phone battery. So to give us that instant-on experience, they just choose the simple, reliable, but power-hungry Wi-Fi option every time. Okay, but the good news is you are not powerless here, not at all. We can absolutely take back control. You just need to know what to look for and have the right tools. So let's talk about how to slay these energy vampires. Check this out. This is a perfect real-world example. It's the power usage of a smart washing machine in standby. Just look at that graph. It is pulling a steady 16 to 17 watts all the time. It's not washing clothes, it's not spinning, it's just sitting there, waiting. Now look at this, same washing machine, but this time with a simple smart cutoff system. After about 5 minutes of being idle, the system goes, hey, you're not doing anything, and it completely cuts the power. And that 17-watt drain, it drops to zero. Just like that. Problem solved. So here's your 3-step battle plan. First, you've got to identify your own personal energy vampires. A smart plug that can monitor energy use is the perfect tool for this detective work. Second, configure the settings. A lot of devices have low power modes or options to turn off features like Quick Start. And third, eliminate the waste. Get a smart power strip for your whole entertainment center and just shut the whole thing down when you go to bed. And look, you don't have to take my word for it. As CNET says, a smart plug is your secret weapon. When you turn that smart plug off, it's basically the same as yanking the cord right out of the wall. It physically cuts the connection and stops that phantom load dead in its tracks. Okay, but a really, really important word of caution here. You gotta be smart about this. The goal is not to just unplug everything. It's to unplug the right things. So yeah, go after your TV, your game consoles, your kitchen gadgets. But leave your main fridge, your Wi-Fi router, and especially critical safety and medical devices plugged in, obviously. So as we all keep making our homes smarter and more connected, it really comes down to a personal question, doesn't it? Is all that instant on, always listening convenience actually worth the hidden price you're paying, month after month, year after year? Well, now that you know the cost, the choice is up to you.